My security camera captured something peeking out from under my bed every night. I've never been someone who scares easily. I installed a security camera in my bedroom not because I felt unsafe, but for convenience. Sometimes I'd forget if I locked the door or left the light on, and the camera let me check those things from my phone. I live alone in a small house on the edge of town. The neighborhood is quiet, the kind where people leave their doors unlocked during the day. Nothing strange had ever happened in my home until 2 weeks ago, when things started getting unsettling. It began late one night. I was lying in bed, scrolling through my phone, when I got a notification. Motion detected in bedroom. My heart skipped a beat. I opened the camera app, expecting to see nothing, maybe a trick of the light. But there it was, something small moving near the floor at the base of my bed. I told myself it was nothing, probably a shadow or maybe a bug crawling across the lens. Still, I leaned over and glanced under the bed, but it was empty. I laughed at myself, thinking I was being ridiculous. The next night, it happened again. This time, the movement was clearer. It looked like something white and thin darting out from under the bed, then disappearing just as quickly. I paused the video and zoomed in, but I couldn't make out what it was. My stomach churned. The following nights, the notifications kept coming, always around the same time, between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. Every time, the footage showed the same thing, something reaching out from under my bed. It moved slowly, cautiously, as if it were testing the waters. One night, I left the light on before going to sleep, hoping it would stop whatever was happening. But when I checked the camera the next morning, the light hadn't deterred it. In fact, I could see more detail. A hand. A pale, bony hand with unnaturally long fingers. It crept out from the shadows under the bed, its fingers dragging across the floor before retreating again. My blood ran cold. I couldn't explain it. I searched the entire house for signs of an intruder, but there was nothing. I tried to convince myself it was some sort of prank, maybe a bug in the camera software, but deep down, I knew it wasn't. The worst part came a few nights later. I woke up in the middle of the night, not because of a notification, but because the room felt wrong, cold, still. I glanced at my phone and opened the camera feed, and that's when I saw it. The hand wasn't just reaching out. It was closer to me now, near the edge of the bed. Slowly, it rose up and brushed against the blanket hanging down from the mattress. My breath hitched. Then I heard it. A whisper. It was faint, almost inaudible, but I could swear it said, "Come closer." I froze. I wanted to run, scream, anything, but I couldn't move. My chest felt like it was being crushed. I don't know how long I stayed like that, staring at the screen, but eventually the hand retreated. The next morning, I called a friend to come over. I told him everything, and he laughed it off, saying I was probably overthinking things. Together, we checked every corner of the house, even moved the bed and searched underneath. There was nothing there, of course. I wanted to believe him. I really did. But the notifications didn't stop. Last night, I decided to confront it. I left the camera app open and waited for the notification. When it came, I turned on the flashlight on my phone and leaned over the bed. I wish I hadn't. The hand was there, but it wasn't just a hand anymore. A face was staring back at me. Its skin was stretched tightly over its skull, its eyes black and empty, its mouth twisted into a grotesque grin. I dropped my phone and scrambled out of the room, slamming the door behind me. I didn't sleep. I sat in my living room until the sun came up, clutching a knife and staring at the hallway. This morning, I went back into the bedroom. Everything looked normal. The bed was untouched, and the camera was still where I left it. But when I checked the footage from last night, I saw it again. The thing under the bed crawled out. It stood up. It was tall, too tall to be human, with limbs that stretched unnaturally long. It stood there for a moment, then walked out of frame. I don't know where it went. I'm writing this from my car. I can't go back into that house. Whatever it was, it's not human. And I'm terrified it's not done with me yet.